Hello. As you heard, I was a little sick laying in bed last week. But my favorite part of this trip was being able to do a VBS for the first time, because in every other trip I've been on, I did like manual labor. I would do yard work, painting, all that stuff. And this year, for the first time, I was able to do a VBS, and I had so much fun being able to, I was on the craft teams, so we had so much fun being able to just see the kids so engaged. Like one day, we colored hats, love this hat, and I was just sitting at this little table next to these like 5-6-year-olds just scribbling all over their hats, and it was hilarious because they would just like go and grab the pen out of my hand. And I just thought that was really fun. And then something that God had taught me on this trip was, before this trip, I had always been kind of like scared to share my faith, scared to like pray out loud to people. I thought I was kind of like having to perform to do it, and I was too scared to like volunteer to pray, volunteer to share my faith. But on this Sunday, the first full day of the trip, we're in our van ride going to the church, and my leaders, Ben Cura and then Miss Biasato, silenced the whole van and was like, hey, we need 2 people to share their testimony, so we're going to pray about it, and then we're going to pick 2 people to do it. And of course, Ben picked me. So I was given like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to notice to share my testimony. And of course I was terrified at first, but then Ben was praying for me. Ben and Miss Biasato were able to like tell me why I should pray and like how I should pray. They were like, you should pray for boldness to be able to share your faith. And that continued throughout the week. Was every morning on our way to where we were serving, Miss Biasato and Ben would lead the van in prayer and not only tell us what to pray for, but also why we should do it. And they were giving us little mini lessons in this van ride, and I just learned so much from them.
All right. How's it going? My name's Noah. I was blessed with the opportunity to come on this trip as a leader. Sadly, one of the things I was told as a leader is I'm not supposed to talk too long, so I hope you guys are willing to push your lunch plans back a few minutes. No, but it was a really fun trip. It was really fun getting to know these wonderful young people. I went into this trip not really knowing any of them. Maybe like 10% of them I knew. And I'm leaving this trip knowing a lot more of them and having built a lot of connections with them. One of the things that's going to stick with me probably for the next few years was Tuesday night we were having a community dinner. I didn't cook any food. Somebody back there was cooking a lot of food for the whole community, and I was tasked with helping a few guys. There's a small group of us get some social media content and some interviews, and I had a very clear vision in my mind of what I wanted to do and how I wanted it to go. And I started getting really stressed out because it was not going to my plan until I finally stepped back, and a few of these guys, they stepped up and they took control, and it went wonderful. It was just awesome. And even afterwards, we had a really, really wonderful conversation that really just opened my eyes to how much of an impact these kids were leaving. It was just a really wonderful experience. You guys should be proud of these kids. If they're your kids, if you donated, or even if you were just praying for them, you should be really proud of everything that they did on this trip.
Hi, my name's Heather. I'm one of the rising 11th grader small groups, girls, leaders. And one of my favorite memories was the day we left was actually my birthday. So we met up with one of the other vans at one of the rest stops. We just happened to be there together, and all of a sudden a bunch of my girls popped out of the van and started singing and dancing happy birthday for me, so that was kind of fun. I thought, this isn't a bad way to spend my birthday. And then I was reminded on this trip, when we give Jesus time, He aligns our hearts with his. I saw over and over again how these students would study their devotions, pray and sing, and then immediately have a desire to move in action. Andrew and Eli, on our first day at the church, coming to me and saying, Miss Heather, how do we go up to people and start conversations? We want to meet people and share Jesus. Warmed my heart. Emma and Abby doing their devotions and realizing we adults might need ministered to as well, then actively coming and doing that for me that night were just a couple examples. The second song we sang today, Praise Leading to Boldness, is what I saw these guys doing the whole time, and just reminded me, give a little time to God, and he'll align your hearts with his.